Today on Brilliance Business TV, we have Ihuaku Patricia Nweke. Ihuaku is the founder of a social enterprise focused on family restoration. Stay tuned. Welcome to Brilliance Business TV, conversations with leading experts in business. I am your host, Mark Stephen Pooler. We have a wonderful guest joining us today, Ihuaku Patricia Nweke. Welcome, Ihuaku.
Thank you, Mark. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm looking forward to a conversation with you. We are streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. We're also on the E360 TV network under Fresh Takes, going out to Apple, Fire, Android, Roku, and many more. We're also on USA Global Radio and Television Network. We're also on Business Innovators Radio Network and MSP News Global.com. Let's get started with our incredible guest today. Ihuaku, it's great to have you here, and just share with me your nickname because I know it's a little bit more easier to pronounce.
Yeah, it's really not really a nickname, but my first name shortened to Ihu, which is just the first three letters. So
I'm going to call you Ihu today. Ihu, let's get started with the show. So, What is your number one driving force? You are quite multifaceted. How do you do it all?
Right. Okay. So yes, I do a number of things, and like you talked about the family restoration, I also have a fashion business, and I have been a procurement consultant with UK public sector organisations for the last 20 years, as well as having a family. I've got 3 teenage boys. And I'm married as well. And I'm quite involved in the community. So how would I do it all, and what is my driving force? I would say my driving force is really, number one, to be able to be everything that I have been created to be. I'm a very spiritual person, and I believe that we are all here for a purpose, hence my book. I guess we'll talk. You ask me about that later, but I believe that we're here for a purpose. And for me, my driving force is to be able to fulfill that purpose completely before I expire in this realm, in this earthly realm. So it may seem like I'm doing a lot, but for me, it's all about fulfillment. It's all about being able to fulfill everything that I've been called to do.
Ihu, just share a little bit about your business, who you serve, and how you help the world.
Okay, I'll go with Cedarcube. So Cedarcube is an organization which is all about restoring families. And the people I'm called to are families. We're all in a family of some sort, or we've all come from a family. So that's pretty much everyone. For me, that I'm called to serve the family, but the main people would be the individuals and couples, because I think that they are the foundations of the family, and they're the ones who would start a family, and they're the ones who would need to be educated as to the right way to do it, in terms of all the facets of family, starting with themselves. Knowing more about what they've been called to do, knowing more about how to manage finances, because the family is the first corporation in the whole world ever. So you need to start from that micro level before you reach outwards. So if you can't really manage your finances within the home, how in the world would you be able to manage finances in a multi-corporate organization or in the business. Also, communication skills within the family setting. You need to be able to communicate and negotiate with your partner. Children do it all the time. They negotiate with parents. Learn those skills before you go out into the world to negotiate on a business level. And if you're able to do that in a family setting, then you're really to a good starting point. Learning how to be in tune with yourself to start with before spreading those skills to the people around you and then to the community. Mother Teresa said something which is quite profound. She said, if you want to change the world, you need to go home and love your family. And I think that all this, everything that we want to do out in the world should start with the family. It's such a shame where a lot of people have great success outside, but when it comes to the home, everything is a mess. The children don't see them often. They just, the relationship, or they're not spending enough time with their partners. So really, I would say let's start with the family.
So if someone were to want to work with you, who would be the best kind of person to reach out to you that you could really help?
Okay, so I would say that my ideal client would really be the woman who is either thinking of marriage or about to get married. And there will be my ideal client in a number of so many different ways, like I said, with the family, but also I always use my other gifts to help as well, which they might find beneficial. So something in a way completely different, but not so different. It is related, where I help women to be their best selves in terms of fashion. So to find out what is their identity, what is their true identity in terms of fashion, and dress accordingly. And then they can be able to kind of carry that out into the world as well. So I would say all in all, in terms of fashion and family, that would be my other clients. So the woman who's thinking of getting married, she's probably got a career, maybe between the ages of 33 to 55, 60.
Lovely. Now, people can connect with you on your website. Just share your website details for me.
It's my name, Ihuaku, and then P for Patricia Nweke, NWEKE.com.
Say that once more.
Ihuaku, P Nweke.com.
Lovely. And it's up on the screen as well, so people can see that.
Yes.
Now, you have written a book. How exciting. And I know you're working with our dear friend Brenda Dempsey as well. What inspired you to write a book?
So I got the inspiration of a book. It wasn't an intellectual inspiration to start with. Like everybody says, "Oh, it's my bucket list. I would love to write a book." It sort of came to me, the book, at a point in my life where things were really taking a dip, as we all experience these ups and downs in life. Mine was a very, very down period where I was flying in my career. I was doing very, very well. And all of a sudden, my career took a dip. And I was like off work for 18 months. And I was off work for 18 months. My husband undertook an operation, quite a long one, 6 hours, and I had to be his carer. Also, even at the time when I wasn't working, I tried to work with the family business. That's my brother's business, and that went under as well over the summer. So I had all sorts of challenges that year. But the good thing about that year is that I was able to look into myself, and I was able to get quite in touch with my spirituality. And that was when I got the download for the book. And that was when I had the refinement of my business as to what were the main values of the business, what were the things to focus on in the business. And that's where I got the 4 pillars of Cedarcube, which is to heal, to bond, empower, and connect.
I love that. Now, I know people can get your book on Amazon. It's called The Awakening of Purpose. So I'd encourage everyone to get a copy of, is that on Amazon now, or is it coming to Amazon?
It's on Amazon now. It's on Amazon now. So it's just go into Amazon and look for The Awakening of Purpose Through Passion and Pain. And in the book, it covers a lot of my story, a lot of some other people's stories as well, especially, women who've gone through different pains and different things in their life. And it's just sort of making sense of that. And you'll find it very useful. The feedback or the testimonials that I've had of the book that is very much a handbook for helping them to make sense of helping people to make sense of their lives in so many different ways. And you can start from any side of it, any chapter, and just pick it up, and it will basically help in terms of whatever it is that you may be looking for. So there's a chapter called the 10 Keys or keys, and it's like it covers different keys to help you to awaken to your purpose. So I don't want to give that away, but there's a number of them. Some of them you've heard, some of them you haven't heard. So for instance, I've got gratitude, and I'm going to tell that with why gratitude is so important. I've got
really important.
Yeah, very important. I've got why service is very important. And yeah, there's a number of other elements there. So I don't want to
don't give it away, but I'd encourage everyone to go to Amazon, and that's The Awakening of Purpose. Now, I know you've got an event coming up as well, haven't you? So tell us about that as well.
So I had the formal book launch on the 26th of October in the O2. So that was very well attended, and I combined that with my annual summit for Cedarcube called Building the Excellent Family Summit. However, I'm also having a virtual launch, which people can attend from wherever they are in the world, and that would be it's free. It's free, but you need to register. So you can just go to Eventbrite and look for The Awakening of Purpose Through Passion and Pain. Or I think if you look for The Awakening of Purpose, you should be able to find it.
The Awakening of Purpose on Eventbrite. And what date is that?
It's on the 9th of January, and I think it's at 7:30 p.m. GMT it starts.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what are your priorities for 2025?
For me, my priorities would be to, in terms of the book, it will be to consolidate the book a little bit more. Just to leverage, not consolidate, leverage the work I've started with the book in terms of spreading the word about the book. I would also like to do an audio version of the book, because a lot of people these days, it's really hard to sit down and actually quickly read the book. So I want to reach as many people as possible. So I would like to do an audio recording of the book. And another priority I have personally would be that I want to expand a little bit more and to go into my fashion brand a little bit more, and to just basically, I want to bring out a line, one sort of like collection line on that. And stay tuned, because I don't want to give it away, but it's slightly different to what I'm used to, or people are used to me doing, because a lot of the things I've been doing are sort of really lovely feminine dresses and things like that. But this will be a little bit different from that. And then the other one will be to do with family, my family. So 2 of my boys are taking quite important exams next year, and I want to make sure that they do their best and they get to really where they should be. So one is doing an A-level and the second one is doing GCSE. So I really want to make sure that they get the top grades that I know that they're capable of. So those are my priorities for 2025.
Exciting year for you in 2025 here, who I'm really looking forward to seeing how things move forward for you. And we're also doing a nice press release for you as well, which I'm looking forward
That
to
would be
working
great.
on that with you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on to Brilliance Business today. I've really enjoyed having a conversation with you.
It's a pleasure, Stephen. Anytime. I look forward to the next time as well.
The pleasure's been all mine. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone, for joining us for Brilliance Business TV, conversations with leading experts in business. Until next time, bye for now.